Doubt in us can produce a turbulent spirit. It disturbs us, and it disturbs us long enough sometimes to do something about it. And we either respond to that by increasing our relationship with God, or we start to suppress our relationship with God. Either way, the feeling of doubt goes. So if you've got doubt today, I want you to see it somewhat as a friend. A bit like James said, didn't he, in chapter 1 of his book about trials. We're not thinking about trials today, but consider it pure joy, my brothers, when you face trials of many kinds. And you would sort of say to James, "Come on, are you mad?" But James was able to say, because it produces something in your life that you can't have unless you go through these trials and difficulties. And doubt can be like that too. That a sustained doubt can produce in us a turbulence in our spirit, which can only be relieved by one of two things. One, increasing our faith and relationship with God, or secondly, by diminishing our relationship with God. And I know that you don't want to diminish that relationship, you want it to be increased. It says in James later on in that same passage, "But let him ask in faith without doubting, for the doubter is like the surging sea, driven and tossed by the wind." And you don't want to be like that surging sea that's, just pushed from here to there, and whatever power is the strongest power is where you end up being sort of washed up, as it were, on the beach. You want to be able to have something that's stronger than the turbulence of this world. But it's true to say that doubt can produce in us an inner turbulence, but faith is like a sort of rudder that goes into that strong water, and is able to steer us out of the turbulence sometimes. So I want you to be encouraged that doubt can actually be an opportunity for God to show His greater strength than yours. That He is faithful and He is the one that will do it, rather than you thinking, "I can do this and I need to somehow push on in the Christian life." Grace is still there for us. I often think this sometimes when, the early gospel preachers that I remember as a teenager, they were great on grace before you became a Christian. But then after you become a Christian, it's almost like, what happened to the grace? It sort of almost like disappeared. You're left on your own. It becomes a sort of gospel of try harder and do more. But it's a gospel of grace from first to last. And God has sufficient grace for you, even in your doubt, and He will lift you and carry you and encourage you and do whatever is necessary to get you out of that doubt and that pit of despond that Pilgrim in Pilgrim's Progress experience, so that you might pursue the life of Christ until you get to the destination of Him and Him alone. So get out of that pit and start moving in the direction that you know you need to go, and be encouraged today.